Ready?
Yeah.
I guess. So I'm a big foodie, but I probably have to go with like some kind of pasta dish, anything Italian. My grandparents are from Italy, so they actually make pasta for like Cooper Talk restaurants and stuff. So kind of grew up like in the restaurant industry with them. So summer, cold is not for me. Illinois for yeah, my whole life, but I'd like to move somewhere warm one day. If I could afford it, Hawaii. I don't get a lot of opportunity to do that, but I would say reading is probably my go-to lately. A lot of psychological thrillers. I like to refer back to like everything happens for a reason. I use that in session too a lot and try to, work with them and find maybe what the reason ends up being, but that's probably one of the big ones that stands out. Okay. I have two kids. I'm a middle child and I'm a big sports fan.
You don't like sports.
I love sports.
Oh.
I'm actually an oldest child. I would say, the most probably common answer is just helping people, but I really like, being able to be like a trusted person for somebody and just having someone like really trust you with, I guess, the most vulnerable things that they like to talk about. So it's nice kind of being that steady person for somebody and sometimes, their biggest support in their life. So I always thought I'd be a sports commentator actually, but I don't like being on camera, so that didn't work out. Probably a teacher. I think that was something I always thought I would do growing up. So I think that's very common. I would say like go into it with an open mind and then just try to give it maybe a handful of sessions to really get the feel for it. It's sometimes hard to tell, when you first go in and you're nervous. So give it a handful of sessions and then also like don't be afraid to test out different therapists because sometimes it's not always the right fit and that's okay. So I would say nowadays it's changed, just probably seeing my kids like get really excited that Santa's been there and kind of reignite that Christmas spirit and magic, I would say. I like to do this even for myself, but just don't try to do everything, I would say. I think we all try to do a lot, especially when you have kids and you're trying to, like, go do this and go see Santa and presents and all this stuff. So, and I think just being able to say no sometimes to certain things that come up just so you're not, so overwhelmed because it should be a time of being happy and not so stressed out. So, for me, that's probably one of the most important things. I think, if you don't have a therapist that you trust, then you're not really going to get a lot out of therapy because you're not going to be honest and as open as you probably should be. So I would say for me, that's again why I always tell people if it's not a good match, I won't feel bad. You're not going to hurt my feelings. It's really what's best for you. So I would say that's probably one of the most important parts of therapy to me, anyway. So I would say the biggest thing is just meeting them like where they're at. So again, I'm a big planner, so I like to go into each session with I guess like an idea of what I would like to get accomplished. So have some goals set up and some direction I'd like to go in, but it rarely happens that way. So just being able to like veer from the plan and some sessions it might be where you're just listening and providing support more. And then other sessions it might be a lot more of like me doing the talking and coaching through things. So just kind of seeing what they bring to the table and then kind of going based off of what they need at that time. So I'm Angela. I have an LPC and I primarily work with kids up to young adults, especially with depression, anxiety, a little bit of OCD as well in there.